All right, here, this is just for you, big guy. I'm going to show you the process that I use to put shock mitigation in the RC. So there's a big piece of double-sided sticky tape, the full width of this whole thing stuck down, and you can see how over time the dirt leaked in there. So I'm going to scratch it all off right back down to plastic and redo this process all over again. So I'll show you right now what it looks like, and then I'll start up once it's cleaned up and putting the stuff back on. Okay, all cleaned up. It should look like this. That's the front, that's the back, sort of like that. But what we're really looking for is a clean scratch all the way around, and this is what I do every time so that that glue seals and it doesn't let any of the dirt in between. It's not supposed to anyway. So I'll do that with that big roll of red stuff. That big roll of red stuff right there, and I'll show you when that's ready. This stuff's all stuck, ready to go. The placement of that's really important. I'm going to set that down for a second. And there's recesses in here, okay? And normally the screws just went into those recesses, but now there's washers because there's a flat plate that has to bolt flat down on there. So there's two washers, they drop down into there. There's certain sizes. A medium one and a tiny one. Medium one and a tiny one. And over here, you have two, a longer one, and then this one. Okay, and then there's actually more that go in there as well. They go in through the bottom, but that'll all be visible once it's put together. So these two, right? So now, I forgot that little one on top of that one. Put it in there. Now it makes it all flat, and now the plate goes on. But I'm going to take my time putting this plate on because I got to get it right on the right spot and stuck down good. And how I'm going to achieve getting that right on the money is I'm going to put the two screws in that went through there and there, right? It's going to go on the other way around. I'm holding it funny. So that sticky stuff will hold those screws in there, you know what I mean? And then you very carefully, oh, I forgot to trim a piece. I'll have to do that now. Very carefully, you put those in the hole and then get it right down into place and make sure the center screw lines up right over top of that center screw. Once that's on, I have to do two hands. Hold on a sec. In order to get a good bite on this, there's these three main screws that tighten it down. And then you have that little piece there. That little tiny piece will bite it on one side of the motor. Actually, that other side over there. And then this little piece is a battery block, and it'll help bite this down too. So I can't crank this down like this with my left hand. I got not really good pressure. So like again, I'm gonna do it with two hands. I'm gonna button this all up and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we got all the screws in except for this last one. I'm gonna show you what we got going here. I'm gonna put this last screw in the bottom. Just stick it in there basically right now. And where it pops up through is right there. And that's a battery block, right? So this battery block here, so right, this little battery block that goes in the battery compartment, that last screw will also help button up that on the bottom, which keeps the bottom of the pad held in there. Brace, whatever. Skid plate. Skid plate, we'll go with skid plate. Okay, so now that that's all on there, I'm gonna go hit it with a blow dryer, so that it really melts in and gets nice and sticky again and sticks on there good, and give it a bunch of squeezes. But right down there, you'll see that little bit of the shiny spot down there. Right there. Put the screwdriver on it. This little piece right here needs to be cut out. Okay, so I'm going to do that with a Dremel, cut that piece out so that any rocks that do wind up falling in there, they can exit, not actually get stuck on that sticky stuff. That's supposed to be a rock exiting place anyway, so that if rocks get stuck under the saver, hopefully they can fall out. Check this area for rocks stuck in here. If something gets stuck, it could be underneath here or right underneath this. And there's the opening hole to let the stones out. I kind of scored it a little bit right on this side here by accident. Right there, zipping it out, but that's as big as the hole is stock inside, so I left it as a stock hole. It's actually a little bit bigger I could have kept going and I didn't want to. It's actually bigger than that, a little bit more, you can tell, the stock hole, but it's all good. The plate's on there. Now I can let the rocks out, and that's all that matters. By the way, I hope you like these tires. They shoot a hell of a lot better. I'm going to clean them up. Still, they just look a little dusty. They've been sitting for a little while, so. Anywho, there, it's coming along, buddy.